Lesson 15. Everybody is different.
Warm-up dialogue. IQ is not everything. What's wrong? You look depressed.
I just got my test results back. I didn't do very well in math at all, and not as well as I thought I would in my other subjects. I wish I were more like Fred. He got almost perfect scores in everything.
Well, Fred might be smart, but isn't a very nice guy. There's nothing wrong with being intelligent, but that's not the only thing that matters.
You're just saying that. I bet your scores were pretty good too.
They could be better, but I'm not ashamed of them. But they don't tell the whole story of who I am.
But my parents expect a lot out of me. I don't want to disappoint them by being a failure.
Who says you're a failure? You're the most popular kid in our class. You're kind and outgoing, a lot more so than Fred.
But that isn't good enough. I want to go to college.
You don't have to be a great scholar to get a college degree, you know. For instance, you're a gifted athlete and a talented musician. There are lots of valuable skills that exist, and nobody has a monopoly on them all.
Well, you certainly have a gift for making people feel better about themselves. Thank you.
Don't mention it. Sometime when I'm feeling blue, you can return the favor. Questions. 1. Why is Paul sad? 2. What gifts does he have? At least 3. 3. Describe Fred. Pictures talk.
One. Question number 1. Do you prefer studying during the day or night? Question number 2. Are you a night owl or an early bird? Question number 3. What about your parents?
2. Question number 1. Do you think you are tall, short, or of average height? Question number 2. What do you think would be your ideal height? Why? Question number 3. Are you envious of your friends who are taller than you? Why or why not?
3. Question number 1. Do you want to be rich? Why or why not? Question number 2. Do you know how to become rich? What is the recipe? Question number 3. What would you do if you were rich?
4. Question number 1. Do your parents always obey the traffic rules? Which ones do they break most often, if any? Question number 2. Do you scold your parents if they break the law? What happens then? Question number 3. List the rules you think adults break most often. Which ones do kids break?
5. Question number 1. Describe your parents. Are they silent or talkative? What else can you say about their personalities? Question number 2. What about you? Are you talkative? What do you talk about the most? Question number 3. What do you think about your friends? Which ones do you like better? The ones who are talkative or silent? Why?
6. Question number 1. Define optimist and pessimist. Question number 2. Describe yourself. Are you an optimist or a pessimist? Why do you think so? Question number 3. Talk about the merits and demerits of being an optimist or a pessimist. Answer me. One, pet friends.
Do you like animals?
No, I can't stand them.
Why not?
I don't like the way little dogs bark and snap at strangers. I'm afraid.
They're too little to hurt you. The noise is all bluff because they're so harmless.
Cats are even worse. They always look like they're trying to analyze you. It gives me the creeps.
Well, what about snakes and lizards? I have a bunch of them at home. Do you want to see them? Questions. 1. Do you like pets? Why or why not? What do your parents think? 2. What kind of pets would you like to have? What do you think about having rare animals as pets such as spiders or lizards? 3. Talk about the responsibilities pet people have to their neighbors.
2. Play or read.
Let's go outside. We can play basketball.
No, I want to stay indoors and finish a mystery I'm reading.
But you can do that by yourself anytime.
Okay, but let's play a computer game instead. I don't want to get sweaty. Questions. 1. Do you like sports or books better? 2. What about your friends? Do they play ball a lot or do they study a lot? 3. Do your parents want you to study or play? Is that fair? 3. Mutual envy.
I'm jealous.
Of what?
Of you. You're so bright. You even take a class with college students, and I have to struggle just to pass my high school courses. I wish I were as intelligent as you.
Well, thank you for the compliment, but sometimes I wish I were like you. You're always so straightforward and honest. I could never come up to people and tell them how I feel like you do.
Questions. 1. Do you think you are gifted or ordinary? What makes you think so? 2. Do you wish you were more gifted? What talents would you especially like to have? 3. Do you think gifted people are happy? Why or why not?
4. Meatless.
Thanks for having lunch with me.
Think nothing of it. It's my pleasure.
I'm going to have the pork cutlet. How about you?
I can't. I'm a vegetarian.
Are you a vegan?
No, I drink milk and eat eggs. Sometimes I even eat fish, but I never eat meat.
Why not?
Even thinking about it makes me sick to my stomach. Questions. 1. Do you like meat? What is your favorite? 2. Do you like vegetables? What is your favorite? Which ones do you like the least? 3. Do you know any vegetarians? Do they seem healthy or unhealthy? Let's talk more.
1. Opposite personalities. Introverts are people who are more reserved than others. They are usually thought of as being bookworms or loners. Very few people know them well, but they often have very intense relationships with their close friends. Extroverts, on the other hand, are unusually outgoing. They are very talkative and are considered the life of any party. Though widely popular, however, they may not have deep friendships. Questions. 1. Talk about your friends who are outgoing. Do you like to be with them? Are you comfortable in their presence? 2. Do you have any friends who are introverts? How do they behave? What do you do together? 3. Describe your own character.
2. Obedience or revolution. Some kids are rebellious against their teachers or parents, and others are very obedient. Much can be said about both kinds. The rebels challenge authority and may be agents of future change, but they cause a lot of trouble and pain, and they also suffer a lot of punishment. Many times their actions are selfish, undisciplined, and self-defeating. On the other hand, the obedient, well-behaved kids provide social stability. Most of them will have productive jobs and be positive role models for others. But they are not likely to rock many boats to make the world a better place. Questions. 1. Do you think you are mainly rebellious or obedient? 2. Do you think kids should obey their parents and teachers under all circumstances? 3. What does rock the boat mean? What happens if someone rocks the boat too hard?
3. 3 generations. Meet Willie. He's a good kid who loves his father very much and wants his dad to be proud of him. But Willie's father, who loves Willie very much, is also very impatient and hot-tempered. He is never satisfied with Willie's accomplishments or behavior. There is a lot of tension between the two. But Willie's grandfather is very understanding. He gently encourages Willie to do better. Willie doesn't understand why his father is angry with him so often, and he wonders how his grandfather and his dad got along when his dad was growing up. Questions. 1. Describe your parents. Are they patient with you? Do they always understand you? 2. Describe your grandparents. Do they always seem to sympathize with you? 3. Who would you rather grow up with, your parents or grandparents?
4. Not begging for happiness. I see old Bill again. He's a street beggar. I see him here on this corner almost every day. He lost both his legs when he was just a boy. His clothes are worn and ragged, and I don't think he has a family to go home to. But nonetheless, he seems content. He's always smiling and he knows most of the people around here by name. I often wonder how anyone can be so happy even with no money and no job. Questions. 1. Do you think the rich are always happy? Why? 2. Do you think the poor can be happy too? Why? 3. Is it possible that some panhandlers are not really poor, that they actually make a lot of money on their job? Real talk. Are looks everything?
What a wonderful movie that was. I feel so much better now after seeing it.
Not me. I feel much worse.
How can that be? It had such a satisfying, uplifting ending.
But the star, she's so beautiful. I look really plain in comparison.
Who says so? I think you're very attractive.
Dad, you're my father. You're supposed to say that.
But it's true.
I think I need a facelift and maybe a boob job too.
Don't be silly. Plastic surgery is fine for extreme cases like after a disfiguring accident or fire, but it's overrated otherwise. It's just a waste of money. My money.
But Dad, if I looked better, I'd be more popular and I'd have a better chance at getting a rich husband.
You're too young to be worried about getting married. And you look just fine the way you are.
But only just fine, not gorgeous.
Look, Beauty is entirely in the eye of the beholder. The actress you saw isn't so hot, actually, by my standards. She's too skinny, and her mouth is too big. There is no absolute definition of beautiful. Everyone looks different, and people have different opinions about what beauty means.
That's easy for you to say. You're already middle-aged and married, so being good-looking doesn't matter much to you. But it's important to me. I have to compete with a lot of girls who are better looking than I am. If you don't get me plastic surgery, you'll be responsible for my spending my life with some other loser because nobody else will want me.
My, aren't we melodramatic?
Questions.
1. Describe what makes a person beautiful. At least 5 characteristics. 2. Who is the most beautiful woman you know? The most handsome man? 3. Is physical beauty the most important aspect of being popular? Explain your answer in detail.
Read me. What a happy life is. People have different viewpoints about what a happy life is. If someone is not rich, he may think that money is the most important aspect in achieving happiness because he has little of it. But he may also believe that other things are more important in the long run. For example, family and friendship may be the most valuable parts of anyone's life. Without these, it really doesn't matter how rich one is. If a girl is not satisfied with her looks, she can develop other traits to overcome that lack. She can have a kind smile and concentrate on having a positive outlook on life. Many handicapped people are actually happier than most others are because they have learned to put their situation in clearer perspective. What they actually have is often more valuable to them than what they do not aspire unsuccessfully to get. Questions. 1. What makes a person the happiest? 2. Do you think you are a happy person? What would make you happier? 3. Who's the happiest person you know? What makes him or her so happy?